Are you currently studying for your FAA written exam and you are wondering, are you on the right track? Should you be studying by videos? Should you be reading books? Should you be taking notes? Should you be doing all of it? How do you know if you're going to be prepared? How do you know how long this is going to take you to do? If you're asking yourself all of these kinds of questions, am I on the right track to get ready for my FAA written exam? Stay tuned. This video is for you. I'm going to give you 5 different strategies to help you prepare for your FAA written exam. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather, and this channel is all about aviation and helping you prepare for your FAA written exams. I am a flight instructor and professional educator, and today I'm going to share with you 5 strategies to help you prepare for your FAA written exam. Number 1 is to have a roadmap. So the FAA actually publishes something called the Airman certification standards. This is something that is freely available on the internet, but it's everything that you're going to be tested on to earn your pilot certificate, whichever certificate you're working on, whether it is the remote pilot exam, the Part 107 exam, it might be the private pilot, commercial, instrument, doesn't matter. The Airman certification standards is going to be the start to your roadmap for preparing for your FAA exam. So what I want you to do is you'll just go to Google, you'll type in FAA ACS, that's the Airman certification standards, and then whatever certificate you're working on. So if you're working on your private pilot certificate, type in FAA, ACS, private pilot. It'll bring you to FAA.gov, and you can download the Airman certification standards right there. It's a PDF. You will also find there are people selling printed copies of that document. If you want to purchase one, you certainly can, but you can download it directly from the FAA's website. And if you want to print a copy, just print it up. And use that then to prepare a study plan for yourself. So you might say, I'm going to give myself 2 weeks to prepare for this exam. And then what you'll do is you'll start working backwards on your study plan. And so you'll look at all of the different topics that you need to learn, and you'll say, I'm going to study this week 1, this week 2, and then realize, oh crap, 2 weeks isn't enough for me to learn all of this stuff. Sometimes we don't know what we don't know. So sometimes you have to kind of go through this and adjust. So you're going to be flexible here. You're going to be flexible with your timing. So what I would suggest doing is set yourself a deadline of when you want to be ready for the exam. This is the day I'm going to schedule my exam. I don't suggest scheduling it for 10 weeks out or 12 weeks out. A lot can happen in your life over that time. And I want to make sure that, you're prepared, you're ready for that particular exam day. So what I suggest doing is set yourself a deadline of this is the day I'm going to schedule my exam. And then you can schedule for 2 or 3 weeks out. And so what you'll do then is from there, you'll work backwards to come up with that study plan. So if you give yourself 10 weeks or 12 weeks or whatever it ends up being, you've got that ECS, print it up and start working backwards and say, okay, if I want to be done with this by this particular day, I know and this week I need to study this, and this week I need to study this, and this week it's this, and just reverse engineer it, work backwards to come up with your study plan. What you want to do too, make sure you have buffer time in there. Why? Life freaking happens. We all know it. As an adult, life happens. It happens to everybody. Okay. So life is going to happen while you're preparing for this. The other reason you want to include buffer time is because, again, sometimes you don't know what you don't know. And you might get to a topic where you're like, I really don't get this. I need to spend some more time on it. I need to get some additional help on this. I need some extra focused effort on this. So you want to make sure that you give yourself that buffer time in there as well. So you've got that ACS, come up with that roadmap, come up with that plan, set that deadline for when you're going to schedule the exam, and then work backwards to create that plan. Number 2 is you can watch videos, you can read books. I don't want you to do this passively. So if you're watching a video, maybe you're listening to an audiobook, and you're doing something else. You might be driving in the car, you might be on a walk, you might be on a hike, you might be doing dishes, you might be sitting on your couch scrolling your phone. You are passively listening, you're passively taking in the information. So this is going to be videos, audiobooks, regular books that you sit down and read and you kind of glance through it, but then you're also scrolling your phone and then the dog is barking and your kids need this. And it's kind of like very fragmented attention on your book, right? So what I want you to do is be more active in watching the videos, listening to the audio books, listening to the podcast, whatever format you like, and then reading the books. Figure out what format works best for you. Be an active learner, though. Create a distraction-free area. Sometimes easier said than done. We know this, right? Easier said than done, but create a distraction-free study area where you're going to watch videos. But while you're watching the videos, what I want you to do is take notes. I want you to get a notebook, an actual notebook, and a pen or a pencil, your favorite one. And as you are watching the video, reading the book, listening to the audiobook, podcast, whatever it is, sit there and take notes. Write it out with your hands, okay? So I'm telling you this as a professional teacher. I quite literally have advanced training in teaching. I have a master's degree in teaching. So I want you to do this. I want you to get a notebook and write out your notes. There's something magic that happens when you're taking in information, you're writing it down, and it forms new knowledge in your brain. It kind of starts to seal some of this stuff in. So you're going to take that passive listening to videos and podcasts and things like that, turn it into a more active learning experience by taking notes while you're doing it. Focused attention, focused effort. You're not doing other things. You're just doing the thing and taking notes while you're doing it. All right. Number 3 then is you're going to start to verbalize back what you just learned. This is called active recall. And so what you'll do is you'll take your notes and you might have your notebook right here in front of you and you're like, Class A, how do we identify it on charts? We don't identify Class A on VFR sectional charts. Class B, this is how we identify Class B airspace on a VFR sectional charts. And then I start to describe how I identify it on a VFR sectional chart because that's what I just learned about, okay? So you're actively recalling what you just learned, you're verbalizing it, you're putting it out into the world. You can do this to yourself. You don't want to just mumble if you're by yourself. You're just like, rah, 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 rah. No, you want to like speak like there's actually somebody there in front of you. You can explain it to your husband, explain it to your wife, to your mom, to your dad, to your dog, to your mirror, whatever it is. The act of verbalizing it and speaking it out into the world is going to help even more seal that information into your mind, okay? The other good benefit of this is that when you go and sit for your oral exam, there's many pilot certificates. You have to take an oral exam. Part 107, you do not, but others you do. You have to take an oral exam with a designated pilot examiner, and you don't want the day of your check ride to be the first time you're verbally talking about something. Your CFI should be going over this with you before he or she signs you off for a check ride. But the more practice you can get verbalizing things and talking about things, using the language, using these new terms that you're learning, the more comfortable you're going to be explaining it to other people, okay? So do that active recall, do that component to it as well. Number 4, then, is to really just focus in on one topic area at a time as you're doing the videos, the books, the podcasts, the audiobooks, the note-taking, the active recall. So if you're going to learn about the pitot-static system, what I want you to do is watch the videos about the pitot-static system, read the book about the pitot-static system, get your pilot's operating handbook and read about the pitot-static system of your own aircraft. If it's your POH, it's your book, write in the book. It's okay. Nobody says you can't write in books. Just make sure it's your own book, okay? Take notes in there and read everything. Take in all of this information about the pitot-static system. Take your notes, your handwritten notes about the pitot-static system. You might draw pictures. You might recreate some of the images that you see in some of the videos and some of the manuals, things like this. You might draw it out, label things, take notes. Then you're going to actively recall information about the pitot-static system. So what you'll do is just focus in on that one particular area before you go on to the next thing. Okay, so what you're not going to do is read about the pitot-static system and then go watch a video about Class Delta airspace and then go listen to this podcast about angle of attack. It's very fragmented. Your brain just kind of goes, I need to organize this. I need to have some organization to all this sort of chaos that's coming in. I need to like filter it and organize it, put it away in a filing cabinet. So if you are really just, this day, this week, whatever it is, I'm going to focus on the pitot-static system. I'm going to do the things. I'm going to watch the video, read the book, listen to the podcast, listen to the audio book, whatever. take notes, active recall. Then, number 5, from there, what you'll do is you're going to start practice test questions on the pedostatic system or on whatever it is that you're learning about at that particular time. So there's 2 different strategies here. Number 1 is you need to learn the topic. Number 2 is you need to learn how to take the test. So the FAA exam, you're going to get a question and then you're going to get options. You have to pick which option is the best answer. So you're going to go through and start taking some practice test questions around the pedostatic system or maybe aircraft systems. And you're going to read the question and then you're going to read all of the different options. And you might come across one, you're like, yeah, that one's probably right. The other one further down might be a better option. So you're going to continue reading all of your options that you can, the options that you have to answer the question. All right. And so then you'll choose which one you think is the best answer to that particular question. There might be other answers that could, yes, you could make an argument for it, but there's one best answer. So what I want you to do is look at the test question, come up with what you believe is the right answer, the best answer to that question. Then what I want you to do is look at the other options and determine why they are not the best answer or why they're just incorrect, why it's just wrong. So really dissect that question. Spend time on it. Don't just get it right and move on. Understand why those other options are not correct. That's really going to help you with the test taking skills. Again, you learn the content and then you learn how to take the test. All right. So what we're going to do here is use the ACS to come up with a roadmap, a study plan. You got a plan in place. You got a deadline. This is the day I'm going to schedule my test and work backwards. Number 2, passive learning. We're not going to do a whole lot of passive learning. It does help. It does help to just have videos on in the background while you're doing other things, but then come back to it. Come back to that same video with more of an active learning mindset where you're going to sit down, focused attention with your notebook, and you're going to take notes. Next is active recall. You're going to verbally explain what it is that you just learned. It might be to the wall. It could be to your neighbor. It could be to the butterfly flying around your backyard. It could be to anybody. Number 4 is you're going to focus on one topic at a time. Watch the videos, read the books, listen to the podcast, listen to the audiobooks, take the notes. Active recall. Explain it like you're explaining it to a 5-year-old. Explain it as simple as possible so that a 5-year-old can understand the thing that you're learning about. And really focus on verbalizing that. And then the 5th thing is to start taking practice test questions. You don't want to wait until the week before you take the written exam to start taking practice test questions because you're learning the content, but you're also learning how to take the test. You're going to get your test spot set up at home. You're going to learn how to set it up when you get to the testing center. You're going to do all those things. You'll learn how to dissect those questions, look at the question, find the right answer, and then determine why the other 3 are not the right answer. So if you are studying for your FAA Part 107 exam, I've got a playlist for you on some study materials that might help you pass your particular exam. And if you're studying for the FAA private pilot exam, I have created a playlist for you as well. And I'm continuing to create some more content around helping people like you pass the FAA private pilot exam. I'll be adding others commercial instrument just based on what it is that you're looking for. So if you are interested, make sure to check out these other playlists to help you pass your FAA written exam. And if you like this video, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with somebody who you think might find it helpful. And I'll see you soon.